Eliane has entered the chat, reluctantly. The other day, a man friend asked me how I was doing, and I replied, oh, I'm just completely exhausted with pupils coming back to school and everything that's going on for women this week. And he said, oh, what's going on for women this week? I have avoided the discussion around male violence against women for a few reasons. One of them is being completely disheartened. As a woman in STEM, I spend so much time trying to break down those gender stereotypes and help my beloved field recover from a society's worth of oppression. And as a mathematician, I try and give people the scientific literacy that they need to be able to understand huge systemic problems like misogyny. For example, more women die in car crashes, but not because they are worse drivers. All of the crash test dummies are the height and weight and shape of the average male body, and so most women are out of position drivers, and the safety features just aren't as effective for us. Invisible Women, Caroline Criado Perez, excellent book if you love statistics and women. And this whole week has just reminded me how much that kind of change would just be icing on the cake of being able to walk home safely. Pretty basic. So Reclaim the Night Dundee this weekend have invited people to decorate the city with ribbons and signs in a demonstration of solidarity for women. I put some up and I have some reflections on my contributions. Generally, in art and life, I would advise people to bring things into the world which they would like to see in the world. I love flowers, and so I wanted to decorate the city with some flowers to make myself feel more at home. I would also really enjoy walking down a street and seeing a sign that says, "Women are safe here," but they're not, and I can't just will that into being true with a sign. When I was speaking to a woman colleague earlier this week, she expressed a frustration about the echo chamber and how a lot of these actions don't actually change anything. It's a lot of preaching to the choir. So I listened to women and I asked myself, what could actually make a difference? I need to direct my signs at men who aren't necessarily going to want to read a paragraph. I am not going to change the mind of a full-on misogynist, so I need to speak to the not all men and get more male allies. I don't think statistics and shock value like a sign that says women aren't safe here would work. Plus, you don't know who's going to read street signs, and that sounds quite menacing towards women. So I went with a set of challenge questions. The teacher, are women safe here? Is it safe to be me? How do I know that I am safe here? How do you make the world safe for women? From speaking to my male friends this week, I understand that they feel they're being asked to apologize for something that they did not do. I recognize that. You might not be sexist, but the whole damn system is! Another frustration of my male friends is they feel they don't actually have this supposed power to change society, and so the patriarchy isn't even working that well for men. Come tear it down with us. As a cis woman, I feel like I have the strength and responsibility to hold at least a little bit of space for trans women and non-binary people, so I extended some solidarity to them. This sign is supposed to let NB people know that their identity is valid and they are welcome here. But I think it could initially be read the wrong way if you didn't know much about non-binary pronouns. In future, I would make the NB heart much bigger. Obviously, I can't resist an opportunity to get a little bit of maths in there, so to express that trans women are women, I went with an Euler diagram. This is not a Venn diagram. At the time, I wasn't sure if I should make a sign to ensure women of colour are included when I'm talking about women, because I've never heard anyone say that women of colour aren't women, but historically, women of colour have been excluded when people say women, and right now, systematically, they are discriminated against in a unique and inexcusable way. I just wasn't sure if it was my place to throw black women into the conversation when I am already reluctant to be in this conversation. But in future, I think I will explicitly address this because women aren't safe until women of colour are safe. One sign that I chose not to put up was something along the lines of something that people say to me a lot when I have a discussion with them about gendered violence, and that's, "Oh, but you do judo." I do. And I'm not bad at it, but I do it for fun. I don't want to have to think about men attacking me when I'm doing my hobbies. Yes, I know 40 different ways to choke someone, I weigh 55 kilos and most men can just pick me up. That conversation makes me sad and I just didn't want to bring that energy to the streets. I feel very lucky that I have the money and time and energy and health to join in with this movement, but all in all, this project cost me about £50 in flowers, card, ribbon, transport, all of which also have an environmental impact, and it has taken the best part of my day off, so hopefully it's made at least a wee difference.